Hello everyone, this is Yael from Yael Alchemy, and I'm here to bring you the weekly twin flame reading for the week of Feb 18th to the 24th. Okay, I don't know if you noticed, but sometimes I mess up on the dates. Like last week I put Feb 11th to the 18th, and my sense of time is just weird because really time is a 3D concept that I don't know. I've always been sort of results oriented, so it's kind of a vague concept for me, so to speak. But anyway, happy Valentine's. How's your Valentine's Day? Thank God for, I'm not in a relationship right now, except for my twin. And thank God for 2-year-old nieces who think the world of you for giving them a red bear balloon. Okay? And instead of scrolling through my Facebook timeline or Instagram you know, being envious of everyone who posts all their flowers and chocolates given by their loved ones. What I did was that I worked on the heart chakra Reiki orders and the love boosters, and that was truly more than enough. It's being infused by love the entire day, so it is quite productive and fulfilling for me. Okay, what else? Nothing much. Nope. Nothing else comes to mind. Maybe I'll mention it later on. Anyway, let's get on with the reading. And at the bottom of the deck, which should be the general energies of the reading, we have here the Ten of Cups. And the Ten of Cups signifies a completion of something, to one's satisfaction. And this has to do with a relationship, okay, a romantic relationship. So, okay, well, let's look at the other cards first. And then we have here the Five of Swords, which signifies disappointments. So it seems as if for both twins, a lot of the twin flames are sort of wrapping up. Putting a period, it's like putting a period at the end of the sentence, or coming to the conclusion that this is as far as it's ever going to get. Okay? And really just coming to that conclusion. And with that conclusion, there is the concomitant disappointments as represented by the Five of Swords. That as far as 3D is concerned, that this culmination energetically, which a lot of twins feel, because you don't have to be in physical union to merge as one, to feel the other's energy, to work with that energy in your daily life in this particular incarnation. Okay, although of course, because we are given the 5 senses in this dimension, which is the physical dimension, it would be another aspect. It's like another a different kind of experience that you would want to experience with your twin. Okay, having both incarnated in this particular lifetime that you have. Okay, so that's a concomitant disappointment at how things have turned out in 3D. But you can see there, despite the disappointments also, that's why you have here the King of Pentacles, and surpassing all these disappointments, that's when you create also this third energy. Okay, am I called to read that one? And there, that's just the truth of the matter, that regardless of how disappointing sometimes things are in 3D, because you react with your higher heart, because it's like you are fine-tuning your ability to love unconditionally, okay, then you get to create a third energy anyway. Okay, so let's get on with the side for the Divine Masculine. Okay, let's open all the cards first. First, we have the Eight of Pentacles. Then we have the Regeneration card. Then we have the Ten of Pentacles. And then we have the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, a lot of pentacles. A lot of pentacles surrounding regeneration. But as far as the Divine Masculine is concerned, so this has to do largely with their existence here, their 3D. Okay, because right now they're hard at work trying to improve, and this has to do with rejuvenating their finances, their position in life, trying to get ahead, but still doing the work in 3D. And when we say that, this doesn't mean going to a 9-to-5 job and, you know, trying to just bring home the bacon or the paycheck. Okay, this is physical action in 3D towards self-improvement of their status in life, whether that pertain to their abundance, their financial security, their physicality. Okay, maybe a lot of the divine masculines are being more aware of the connection of the body and that body, mind, spirit connection, and making sure that everything's working in sync, in order, and they get into an exercise program. They want to lose weight, build muscle. There is that kind of realization that some things have to be worked on, and they have to be worked on now. And this also pertains because here the work is towards this regeneration, this reinventing themselves, redesigning their lives so that everything is more in balance. Okay, this is taking it's like when you're into gardening or even agriculture and you compost. So from the waste of those things that you didn't need behind, what was the excess, it becomes a tool from what has rotted, okay? It becomes a tool that nourishes your own regrowth, okay? New growth, new directions, new outlook in life, and he's working towards that on a very physical level, okay, because there is a desire, and here we have the Ten of Pentacles, to really, when you say the Ten of Pentacles, it doesn't mean that you've won the lottery or whatever, but it's having more than enough, having a fund for that rainy day that you may not see coming, the curveball that puts a dent in your finances. This is what they're preparing for. If before they were always they were caught unawares, there's a big expense, or that they could not, they neglected to take care either of their health, their physical well-being, and the well-being of those around them. This is a brand new desire, okay, which is he is still in the process of doing. And here, because the Ten of Pentacles falls under regeneration, so even the Divine Masculines feel that they reach a certain point. Maybe for those from the Gen X generation, or the Gen X, Gen Y, excluding the millennials. The Gen X, Gen Y are veering towards that midlife point wherein they get midlife crisis, and they think, what have I done to this point? Am I really happy? Okay, what else can I do? Because that's how life goes. You set goals for yourself, you achieve those goals, and when those goals are achieved, you're happy for a time. But then again, I don't know if it's out of boredom, or it's a want for accomplishment, or it's just something you feel that is worth doing and spending time on, spending energy on. Then you find other goals. And for a lot of the divine masculines, they finish a certain stage. And like I said earlier, this pertains mainly to their 3D recognition. Okay, we have a lot of pentacles here. So this is not as relates their ascension. This is their physical being. If last week we were given messages about their journey, this is how they're coping. Okay, being a multidimensional being, how they're coping in 3D. And here, this is part of their desires, to have everything in place, to have everything set, that would be sufficient to meet all eventualities. Well, almost all, because, you know, that's why the insurance business is so big, because you can't really tell. And I just found out from a friend that those who are actuarials, okay, they get paid really, really high, because they sort of predict the chances of this or that happening and all that. So anyway, here, so and the next card, the last card that we have for the divine masculines, is the Queen of Pentacles. And when we have here the Queen of Pentacles card, this is a very protective and nurturing card. And it follows this, because this is what they want to nurture. This is the hope, the goal that they are nurturing. And the divine masculine is keeping that alive, even if you can see circumstances are rather tight. Okay, that's why there is a work card here above this. And you can see here that this pentacle, although it is placed on a pedestal, it is protected by this tree that absorbs, so there is a buffer there. Okay, so working, like I said earlier, the divine masculines working to make sure that this buffer is sufficient, and their ultimate goal won't get so impacted, whatever things come their way, which would be represented here by the snow. Okay, and for the oracle card for the divine masculine, okay, we have here 36, and this is the crucifix. So, and the crucifix, this implies sacrifice, and, well, yes, sacrifice. So the divine masculines actually are doing this in the spirit of this sacrifice, wanting to provide for those who are around them. Okay, so, and having quite a difficult time, because this is what the crucifix represents. Okay, we don't read it as tools to banish vampires, so, but of course they are. But here, this is the symbol of the passion of the Christ, the hardship, the sacrifice, which I spoke about last week. And in going through this in 3D, the divine masculine is actually finding it very difficult, but it is a burden that he's willing to carry, in the hope, in anticipation of this greater comfort for all, greater wealth for all, but he is sacrificing a lot in working towards this, okay, in creating that buffer. Okay, now let's see how the divine feminines are doing. Okay, for the divine feminines, we have here the Eight of Cups, okay? Then we have the World card. Then we have the Nine of Swords. And then we have the Nine of Pentacles. Okay, hold on. See, we have two nines here, but we start off with an 8. The Eight of Cups. And for the divine feminines, because of this disappointment that they have felt about, and I started to talk about earlier, thinking that this is it. This is as far as it's going to go, and that brings about a finality to it. It sort of releases a burden, an expectation, okay? But here, in mulling over these disappointments connected to the as far as I can go, as far it can go mentality, the divine feminines are still reaching out for more guidance, okay? Reaching out and trying to really get a grasp of what their intuition, what their higher selves are telling them as regards their situation. Because remember, all our situations are different. Although we have a general trajectory as a collective, and that is to come into union energetically. If you're incarnated, come into union physically, come into reunion physically, right? But there are so many variables that come into play. That's why we all know that at some point in time, but when there's clickbait articles, videos that union is now, right? Union is now. And then everybody gets so hopeful, and then everybody, well, a lot becomes so disappointed when that doesn't happen. It's because there's that clickbait factor coming into play. But you have to understand that with readings and this general trajectory, there are other factors that come into play. Like I said, you have your own soul contract. You have your soul contract with your twin flame of what you want to achieve in this lifetime. And I do that in the Akashic Records reading. I help give a glimpse of that in the Akashic Records reading. Okay? And then there is the karma that you have to clear if you still have karma to clear. And that all figures in the timeline and your own personal trajectory in coming together with your twin. So this is a desire, given the circumstances right now. This is a desire, and it's an act of reaching out for guidance, to get in touch with your higher self so that you will be so guided. Because the divine feminines right now, they are, this is a desire to feel whole, okay? Even if you've reached that certain level in your ascension journey, this is being sort of, you're okay already. Because remember, our paradigm is as above, so below. The divine feminines have taken a lot of time and a lot of effort to open up the channels to receive that guidance from above. And then, right now, there is a desire to ground it here on earth, so that when I say ground it, it means to manifest it here in your life. Okay, so there is a desire for the divine feminines to do that, and this, in her quest to manifest all this, to really root the guidance from above, to root it down here on earth, there is an aspect of this Nine of Swords, okay? And again, that is another reflection of the disappointment that's been showing here. Okay, so there's this, and I hope, I sincerely hope, because I think the latter part of the year, I think I got into a depression. I didn't really even want to go to work. Didn't want to do anything. I just let that overcome me, and it was a fear of where would I live? Where would I go? Everybody was leaving me and going to another country. Just imagine my whole family migrated without telling me they were migrating. And I live in the same house. Okay? So I had to deal with that because that was a very personal betrayal. And it was more of like, how could you? If I were in your shoes, I would never do that. I mean, at the very least, you tell somebody that they were all leaving. They didn't even tell me that that was in process. And of course, my friends in real life, they were helping me out. They were seeing how it dragged me down. And I had to work at it, and I still am working at it, because if you keep thinking of the problems, you're going to get stuck there. Now, the problem hasn't gone away. They still might migrate, I still might be homeless and all that, but I choose to focus, yeah, and each day I choose this. I choose to focus on what I can do, for what I can do now, okay, which would be better than worrying about what I can't do anything about just yet. Okay, so anyway, so some of the divine feminines really feeling this depression. It's probably an offshoot of Christmas, the holidays, Christmas and Valentine's, and because if you know, you go out into the world and you meet other people who live in 3D, these occasions, these holidays, there's a whole lot of marketing and public relations being spent to commercialize it and to make other people think it's the be-all and end-all, to celebrate it in a certain way. Okay, and that's a load of pressure for those who don't get that scenario, that all these advertisements, all these commercials are painting, and they feel inadequate. Okay, it makes them feel inadequate and makes them spiral down into this sadness, it's really lethargy. Okay, it's curling up into a small ball and wanting to stay in a dark corner, because you just can't deal with the whole level of not measuring up to this, other people judging you because you don't have the exact same picture of your love life, the picket fence, the dog. Well, I do have dogs, right? But that's what I'm saying. So, and it gets you down, this wanting to really root what you've learned. And that's why we have here the Nine of Pentacles. And the Nine of Pentacles, this is a rooting, okay? This is a desire. It's like to be worldly, to be more, how do you say it? Because in 3D parlance, when you say this person is worldly, they know a lot about whatever corner of the world, whether it be culture. It's like they would ace Trivial Pursuit because, you know, they know a lot about this and that. And here we have the Nine of Pentacles, and this is grounding, really making stable roots. And that's part of the desire of the divine feminine, to not be so flighty. And I don't blame them, because after, it was around the past 2 or 3 years, pushing up and trying to get through the barrier so that you can access higher levels of energy, and now going down, back down, and grounding that. And that's what, as a collective, we are doing. Because what we have accessed, we have to make it manifest here on Earth. Because we're doing this for the Earth and our lives here. We're doing this because we're helping the Earth ascend. And Gaia is tied to us. Our destiny is tied to Gaia. And that's part of the collective mission. So that, grounding that down, but encountering these difficulties in the process of trying to be more balanced in all sorts of things when it comes to your 3D life. Okay, and the card we have here for the Divine Feminine, look, we have the whip and the, I forget what you call that. Here in my country, we call it walis ting ting, which is a whole bunch of sticks, but it's really very effective in cleaning the waste out. Okay, so so there, look at this, they're the same. This is hardship, this is difficulties, this is sacrifice, and that's what the Divine Masculine is also going through in his personal quest to regenerate, and the personal quest of the Divine Feminine to be more stable, to have more stable foundations, okay, for that stability in life. Because remember, a lot of the Divine Feminines, well, I won't say a lot, I just did say it, but look, when you put a period on this kind of relationship, the next logical question would be, do I still want to be in a relationship, a 3D relationship? Do I want to have a companion? And I was actually thinking the other day, there should be a site, you know, conscious companions. I haven't Googled if there actually is, but it would be awesome. Because you don't, when you say companions through life, you don't necessarily mean just a romantic companion. You want travel companions, you want companions to hang out with. Yes, they're called friends, but you want conscious companions, so that, you know, you have that basic, you come from that basic, what do you call that, a framework, okay, that you all know what the ultimate goal is, and there's more room to understand each other and not judge each other. So anyway, so when you put a period, there's a tendency to say, what's next, right? Because you put a period. But again, you're the only one that pressured yourself to put a period. And it's only in this lifetime. If you've been with your twin, you've handled several lifetimes together. Sometimes only one of you is incarnated, and sometimes none of you are incarnated, and you're just souls living out a particular existence in a particular dimension. Okay, there are some souls who choose a lifetime living as a rock, and they're happy with it until they get called for another assignment. Okay, so there, I just thought to mention that. And look, because they think they're starting over, herein comes the challenge, the difficulty, that this is so hard. Okay, but both twins have their individual challenges, and let's see what card connects the both of them. Okay, See, Ace of Wands. This is will. This is desire. So, look, this is what you are willing to go through for what you want to create. Both want something new. Okay? Both want a new beginning that is more established, okay, more prosperous, and that is part of their will. But still, because that is what they want, they're willing to absorb and go through the challenges to go through it. Okay? So that's what I have for you this week. And of course, it's still the love month. Well, all months of the year are love months. But it's February, and for those who think they need a boost of love, and even if they're twin flames, okay, or your intended other, or your somebody you're romantically attracted to, seems very closed, very hard, very rigid. What are these words that are coming to my mind? Anyway, the love booster is still up, and that's 30 minutes of Reiki with divine codes to enhance the unity and connection between twin flames, and for the love that flows between hearts to be unimpeded and to flow both ways, to make love new again, and to increase the likelihood of forming a romantic relationship if it is permitted in your life script. And for others who still need some help in opening their higher heart chakra, because if you live in 5D, okay, if as a multidimensional being, meaning you live both in 3D and 5D, the default in 5D is the higher heart. That is the heart which in 3D, if you compare it, would be equivalent to the mind. But in 5D, where everything's faster because you're working through your higher heart. Okay? And so the heart chakra Reiki is, again, 30 minutes of Reiki with divine codes for the sacral heart activation. That's your higher heart. Codes to optimize and balance the heart chakra, and to open the heart chakra if that's closed. But of course, we need permission for your higher self. Okay? And so that's it, everyone. Take care. Bye.